go to the zoning board and do it. So we propose these codes to have uniformity across the board, and if for whatever reason there needs to be an exception, then they can appeal the code to the Board of Appeals. Um, I think the maximum is necessary because you don't want to have, it can't be the ceiling. It can't be the ceiling. And it does change and affect the neighborhoods. We do talk about overcrowding because we see boarding houses, 6 bedrooms and 6 different people and 10 different cars. So there is a ripple effect to the benefits of having this, and that's why we proposed it.
Yes, and thank you. And also mentioning overcrowding. So just like we have things in our village ordinance so that we can address when someone puts a illegal partition in a dwelling, we have it written so that we can address it. So all we're doing is adding more tools to address some of these issues. Is there anyone else from the community? Sure. Just please state your name and your address. I got a cold.
My name's Lionel Germany. I live on 16 Turnbull Court in Hempstead Village. I work hard, take care of my family. I pay a lot of tax like everybody else here. And I understand it was a zone A, something like that, area I live in. We got the truck, people were parking trucks all over the place. We had to fight for that. They don't put the trucks there no more. They had the gas station, had dumpsters over there. The guy in the corner said rats are running in his house. We had to fight to get the dumpster out with help from Mr. Burrows. I appreciate it, you know. But a corporation bought a house in our neighborhood, and everybody's upset about it. There was one old lady living there when I came. Then another gentleman moved there with his wife. They sold it to another one person. So the whole time, the whole 30 years I've been there, 4 people lived in that house. Some corporation came and took it, took the chimney out. It's, like you said, it's cars all over the place. I took pictures, yesterday I was out there working in the garden. I took pictures of U-Haul trucks coming and going. Furniture, mattresses all over the front of the house. Cars parked with no plates on it. It's very disheartening to me. I got my grandkids come and visit me, and I gotta watch them over there because I don't know. They told me there's 16 people living in that house right now. 6, you said 8? I was sitting there saying it's double that. There's another house down the block. I heard the same corporation bought that house down there. How can we put a stop to this? Because people think they can come over here and just kick us around and do whatever they want to do. You know what I mean? And I feel disrespected, and I'm hurt by this. How did this slip through the cracks? How did they have the lights on in the attic? The gentleman next door said somebody sleeps in the attic, the light's always on. My wife's in the office, she can see people walk around in the attic. The side of the house, somebody lives there. I don't know how many people in the basement, but the person across the street, she said she's seen 16 people walking in and out the house. A U-Haul truck came, they took some stuff out. Another one pulled up, they brought more stuff in. I just took pictures. Please, if we could stop this happening in our community, because it was supposed to be historical. We tried to buy the house from the other gentleman that before he passed. He refused to sell it to us. A corporation bought it. They built another house.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sorry,
Absolutely.
I'm
No.
a little upset.
No, and by all rights.
Yeah.
So we've been trying to make adjustments in our code book so that we can deal with some of the things that have been able to slip through the crack for so long, or things that we hadn't had in writing to deal with it. And so this is what we're doing.
I appreciate that, Mr. Man, because the neighbors are talking. They think, well, people getting kickbacks on the side, so let the corporation come in and do what they want because they get a little bit of
No.
under the table money.
Yeah, no, that's
I'm
not the
saying
case.
you-
That's right.
I'm not saying- but
No, right. I understand what you're
the neighbors
saying.
are talking about.
Right. So that's why we're working to correct that. Thank you. Anyone else? Sure. Just please state your name and address.
It's Bill Miller, 46 Surrey Lane, Hempstead.
I know.
I have a question for the superintendent. Superintendent, a question with regards to the overhang. It's unclear to me how changing this 40% fixes that issue where someone overdevelops the top floor and puts, support underneath it. How is this going to solve that problem?
Because when you do an overhang, it doesn't count to lot coverage. So now, if you put this overhang and you exceed the lot coverage, then we would deny the project because the home's getting too big.
Okay,
As long as you meet the height in the rear yard and side yard setbacks.
okay, so
And
now
it's
it's
happened a couple
included,
times.
basically. Basically, it's included in that calculation, which it
Correct.
wasn't there. Okay,
And it's not now.
great, just to clarify. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else? Sure. Just, Pastor Dean, just state your name and address, please.
Linwood Deans, 105 Surrey Lane. I'm here to make an appeal along with my neighbors. This, Mr. Mayor, trustees, this is really out of hand. All day long, somebody's coming up and down and picking up. They start 6 o'clock in the morning, and it goes all day long, back and forth, people picking up people, dropping off people. And one move out, 2 move in. And I live right next door, and it is just overwhelming. And the cars, I know, I appreciate the building department sitting down and tagging those cars in the driveway with no tags on it, and things of this nature. And how it affects it's going to affect our property values and everything else. Not only 109, it's 25 down there. Sometimes in the evening, it's got to be 15, 20 cars right in that stretch there when you first come in the block. And I know that they put up signs, no parking signs and things of this nature. But again, it's just overwhelming to see our neighborhood changing in this way. And we are just making this appeal and trusting that you're going to do everything in your power to assist us in eradicating this situation, because it's really getting out of hand. And so we wanted to come down and appeal to you and the trustees as it relates to that. I do appreciate this time that you're allotting us, but real soon, please, sir, we would appreciate it.
Listen, and thank you. And again, so this is why we're trying to put more bite into our village ordinance to address some of these issues. And what we do have, our building department addresses it, whether it's cars with no plates in the driveway, overcrowding. As you know, all of this has to go through the court process. And unfortunately, the court process is nothing that happens overnight. But we are dealing with it through our building department, our police department, and even the fire department. When our fire department goes on calls and they come into a situation where they see that someone subdivided a room, they report that straight to the building department right away. And it's helpful because now the building department doesn't need a warrant because the fire department's already there and they brought it to their attention. So we're working within the law to address some of these issues. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes. Just please state your name and your address.
Good afternoon, trustees, Mr. Mayor. My name is Dan Hester. I've been living in Hempstead since 1960. And after 3 o'clock, traffic don't give a damn about stop signs, the drivers. Someone don't get hit. Bad.
I'm sorry, Mr. Hester. So this meeting right now, public hearing, is to address this particular ordinance that we're proposing. If you give us a minute, then you could talk about the traffic issue. That's in our regular board meeting, all right? But this is just a public hearing to address this issue that
Well,
we're
I can also
proposing.
talk about the occupancy on Yale Street
Okay?
in the cars. And they start blowing the horn about 5 in the morning and going where they're going. And I don't quite understand, how can we, as a community, allow the number of people who live in single-family homes, 6, 7, 8 people. That's a major problem. And I tell you that when the kids are coming home and I'll talk about the traffic because that's a major problem. Someone gonna get killed on Yale Street, Fresh Square Boulevard. People living, all kind of nonsense goes on.
All right, so again, we'll address that in our regular board meeting. Is there anyone else? Okay. Trustees, any more questions or concerns?
No.
If there being none, can we get a motion to close this public hearing?
Motion to close.
Second.
Trustee Burrows?
Yes.
Trustee Griffith?
Yes.
Trustee Boone?
Yes.
Mayor Hobbs?
Yes. Do we have another public hearing?
Yes.
Okay.
6:15.
Thank you. All right. Now I would like to open up our second public hearing scheduled for today, Tuesday, June 6th. Patricia, will you poll the board?
Trustee Burrows?
Present.
Trustee Griffith?
Here.
Trustee Boone?
Here.
Mayor Hobbs?
Present.
So we moving into our second public hearing. Please take notice that a public hearing will be held in Village Hall, 99 James A. Garner Way, Hempstead, New York, on Tuesday, June 6, 2023 at 6:15 p.m. to consider amending Chapter 13, Section 13-3 of the Hempstead Village Code. The proposal local law is on file in the office of the village clerk, Village Hall, 99 James A. Garner Way, Hempstead, New York, where the same may be inspected during office hours. All persons interested shall have an opportunity to be heard on said proposal at the time and place aforesaid. By order of the Board of Trustees of the Incorporated Village of Hempstead, William Hobbs Jr. Mayor, Patricia Perez, Village Clerk.
Thank you. At this time, we'll hear from our village attorney. Sir, you can have a seat until we're ready for the public. Thank you.
Good afternoon again. So this section, this proposed amendment seeks to increase the number of members on the Human Relations Board to 15. I believe the intent of this is to open it up to add members so people can, younger members can learn from what's going on, continuity, the amount of events, the number of events that the village will be hosting, just to have all hands on deck. So nothing else changes in this, and all that's proposed is to increase the number of members to 15.
Right, thank you. I would just like to speak on this. This is our Human Relations Committee. These are volunteers that help set up events that we have in the Village of Hempstead, whether it's concerts, whether it's our food truck event, National Night Out Against Crime. And so we wanted to increase the numbers of volunteers because when you have a volunteer organization and it's limited to a certain amount, oftentimes people work schedule are just not available. So we just wanted to make sure that we had enough resources so that when we have these community events, that we have more hands on deck. We are happy to announce that the village has really increased the amount of events that we have, whether it's the police departments, block parties, haunted house. And so again, we just want to make sure that we have more hands on deck to assist when we have these events. Trustees, do you have any questions or comments?
No, I don't have any. Just a quick comment. I just want to say that.
And I'm sorry, and just speaking to the mic, because they said for the television, it's hard to hear unless you're speaking to the mic.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to say that, with all the different events that's taken place, it does take a lot of people to try to get that done, although Juanita is doing an excellent job. I'll also, let you know some referrals of people that want to help her out to do more events in the village. Thank you.
Okay, anyone from the community, any of our residents concerning this item? All right, if there be no more comments or remarks, could I get a motion to close this public hearing?
Motion to close.
A second.
Trustee Burrows?
Yes.
Trustee Griffith?
Yes.
Trustee Boone?
Yes.
Mayor Hobbs?
Yes. All right, thank you.
Let's just give her
Yeah, we're gonna give the,
reporter.
the stenographer time to, pack her stuff, and it's always delightful to see you. Thank you so much, and get home safe.
Have a good day.
Oh, so sleepy,
Yeah.
huh?